Trying out a new editing style for this one, enjoy the video! Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun is a series where we follow Chiyo and her crush Nozaki. Despite this series only being 12 episodes with an OVA and ending back in 2014, I shit you not, this is one of my sister's favorite series. She watches this like at least once a year. I remember barging into her room when we were younger and started watching this series multiple times. Side note, this series also has a live action as well, but I'm not going to be diving into that. So, how good is it really? The short answer, pretty good. The long answer, watch this video. Honestly, it's a slice of life series where I can sum up each episode pretty easily. So why don't I try speedrunning it? Hit the timer. Episode 1. Chiyo fears confronts feelings towards Nozaki, leading towards a series of events that leads her to finding out that he wrote her favorite manga. The next day, the two try to figure out how to write a two-seater bike for the manga. Episode 2. We get introduced to Mokoshiba, Nozaki's friend slash sister, who I will be calling Mikumi. Mikumi is the inspiration of the main character, Makoto, and he's a playboy larper, aka he's a fraud. He does the background effects on Nozaki's manga, the flowers and stuff. And this is Seiya. She's Chiyo's friend. She's a tomboy with no situational awareness who can also sing. Episode 3. Mikumi introduces Chiyo to the crown prince of the high school, Kashima, who is a girl, and she's the inspiration for the manga's main love interest, Suzuki. And this is Hori, the drama club's president, who has to physically drag Kashima to the club almost every single time. His main gag is keeping Kashima in track, usually with violence. He also does the background art for Nozaki's manga as well. Episode 4. Mikumi tells Nozaki that he plays dating sims and knows how to talk to girls. Nozaki doesn't believe him. So he tries the game. End result, they write yaoi. Second half of the episode, Mikumi agrees to go to a mixer, and now he's crying to Nozaki for help. They decide to have a pretend mixer. Just the two of them. Until Chiyo walks in with Nozaki saying
exactly what it looks like.
Episode 5. Nozaki gets a call from his editor Ken, and Chiyo instantly thinking it's an older woman. His editor is a normal man. Nozaki talks about his previous editor Minano and how bad he was. And also Nozaki introduces Chiyo to his neighbor Koto, who has Minano as her editor. Episode 6. They're basically traumatizing Nozaki's friend Watsumatsu. And Watsumatsu, after reading Nozaki's book, accidentally writes a love letter to her. The next segment is an SOS from Nozaki, with Chiyo thinking Nozaki is sick, but tells herself that's impossible. But it turns out he's actually sick. Hori and Watsumatsu are also there too, and the three try to finish up Nozaki's manuscript. Episode 7. Nozaki has a day off since he finished his manuscript early, so Chiyo invites him out to do something fun with her. They run into Mikumi at a figure shop, and he's looking at anime figures. The second half of the episode is a Chiyo Mikumi adventure, and Chiyo asks Mikumi to be a model for the art club. He refuses at first until another girl asks him, in which he folds instantly and agrees. Episode 8. Kashima and Hori episode. Kashima complains to Mikumi that Hori is avoiding her, and Mikumi tells her that she has to do whatever she can to get his attention. Episode 9. Nozaki and Chiyo episode, and it's a classic I left my umbrella at home and it's raining now. The second half focuses on the other mangaka, Miyako, as Nozaki and Chiyo go over to ask her how she feels about her pages getting published by Nozaki's previous editor. Episode 10. Nozaki is being asked by his editor to expand his second day characters, which is comedic storytelling because this episode instantly shifts towards walking out, basically going on a date with Seiyo. The second part, we learn Kashima is homebred and Seiyo agrees to help her. Episode 11. Nozaki is told by his editor Ken that he should try putting himself in his character's shoes. The next segment is about all the guys being in Nozaki's apartment because it's raining like crazy out. And Hori doesn't want Mikoshima to find out he helps Nozaki because he feels Kashima would find out. Episode 12. Valentine's Day episode, and the very final segment is a festival. That's the end of the series, and total OVA, which is basically a beach episode, and that's all you need to know. Chiyo, as our main character, feels like your standard shoujo protagonist. She's happy, bubbly, and sweet, and she has her moments of being an airhead. She's a great character overall, but there is one nitpick I have to point out. Chiyo, if this is your favorite manga, why didn't you realize that when you were working on it the first time around? Like, if I was working on One Piece, I would be able to recognize the art style. Nozaki, on the other hand, is more straightforward, can't really read expressions. By all accounts, he's not your standard love interest. His idea of romance and how he tries to depict it in his manga shows his character quite well. For example, in this scene, he tries to draw different ways for the two to try to show a bike scene, and Chiyo acts as the straight man in this scene. Each panel is obscure and more gag-like. For a scene like this, you would imagine it would be Chiyo suggesting the ideas, and Nozaki being one to shoot them down. These two are a good contrast, and they play off of each other really well. This is Seiyo. She's a simple character, but sticks to her gimmick. She's rude, and she's a tomboy. What else can I say about this angry cat? Unfortunately though, that's all I have to say for her, since she isn't really used that much, and her dynamic with other characters don't really go that far, other than with Wakamatsu. This is Mikumi. He is my favorite standout, and he is super memorable. Like I said previously, he's a playboy larper. He pretends to be good with girls. He'll try to talk, but then afterwards, he'll break down like a child embarrassed of his actions. When he's with the Nozaki, you can definitely see the nerd side of him more. And when he's with Chiyo, obviously you get to see more of his larper playboy. He's a girl failure by nature, honestly. And when the three are together, shenanigans! Kashima, she's the prince of the high school, and most of her gags are just being the prince. Girls flock towards her and want her attention. She's mainly shown alongside Mikumi and Hori. Mikumi because they're friends, and Hori because of the drama club. She also has a crush on him. The episode centers around this, shows her way of thinking quite well, but also shows why she could be a bit more dense sometimes. Hori, he's the president of the drama club. He's more of a straight man of the series than Nozaki is. More along the lines of being a normal person, since Nozaki can be a bit unhinged sometimes. He's more disciplined compared to everyone else, but even he has his faults, often Kashima getting on his nerves and taking her actions the wrong way. It's not that he hates her, it's more like he doesn't want her clowning around with girls during club hours. Watsumatsu, he's Nozaki's friend. who we get introduced to later on in the series. We really don't get much screen time with him. Most I can say, it's quite funny how he read through Nozaki's manga and decided to use that as the foundation as a way to try to get back at Seo. I know I didn't really go into detail with these four when it comes to their personalities and everything, but you have to remember, this is a slice of life comedy with 12 episodes and an OVA, and the side characters aren't going to really have the time to be fully fleshed out with their personality. Kashima has some kind of crush on Hori, while Hori is irritated by Kashima, but that's as far as the anime goes. And that's not the fault of the author or the anime, that's the nature of this genre. You watch something like this because you want to see silly little people doing their silly little people things. The main trio is the one that we see the most, thus why I have more to say about them. Even though these characters do have dedicated episodes, they don't really interact with other members of this cast. They more or less stay within their respective boundaries. But despite that, they are fun to watch. The first few episodes of a series are usually the setup, so I understand how in this case it's the exact same, with the first 3 episodes specifically being the character introductions, and it is not boring by any means. Each episode has a highlight that will make you smile, or flat out laugh. For me, episode 1 was the entire bike scene. For episode 2, it was Mikumi as a whole. He has earned the best boy title. And for episode 3, it's Chio finding out Hori does the background art. The series does really pick up at episode 4, and really shows me why Tam enjoys this series so much. And it's also why I remember this episode especially. Every sidebar Nozaki has with Chio in the bathroom basically roasting Mikuri for no reason. His misinterpretation of mixers, and how this pretend mixer isn't even helping him at all, is a 10 out of 10 scene. Overall, I'm a big fan of character interaction over the plot of the story, so even though some of the episodes are really simple when you boil it down, you watch these series for the characters, not what they do in the plot. It also helps that this is a slice of life comedy, and we have expectations of what that entails. There's not going to be a major story arc with Chio's entire character shifts, or crazy plot points that will change the series forever. It's a series that makes me laugh, so I highly recommend you try watching this series. Hey, Teacher DJ here. Just wanted to let you know that the next segment was written by my sister. Since I asked if she wanted a part in this, she couldn't really voice it though, so I asked my friend Awoodles to voice it over.
So I have no idea what's in this video so far, or if my brother mentioned it already, but I love
Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun.
It's basically my yearly anime that I rewatch. The humor holds up, the cast is great, and it's just a great introduction to anime for anyone new. As the anime continue, the cast gets so big, but because each cast has a unique personality, it's quite easy to remember them. Which, such a big cast, it's honestly really funny to see how each of them interact with each other. The animation, oh my god, it's so good that it shows parts of Nozaki's manga that they actually voiced all the characters. Oh, and the music is wonderful. Unfortunately, there's only 1 season, but I just assume if there's a second season, it will be going of these students interacting with each other. There's nothing super crazy in the anime or groundbreaking, but there's nothing wrong with it either. It's just an anime that my brain loves to rewatch. My favorite character is Mokoshiba, which is later nicknamed Mikorin by Chiho, after learning that he is in the inspiration for Nozaki's manga, which I find very funny. Okay, well, hopefully that bit will help a bit.
Okay, well, do you also want to plug yourself in real quick into this video?
Hi guys, this is Awoodles VT on twitch.tv. I don't know, it sounds very unnatural.
Okay, cool, that's the clip I'm gonna use. Perfect.
No!
Anyways, that's the end of the video. Remember to like and sub. Bye bye!